Coming off a big-time Sunday, guys. We had the Lakers on the money line, 3.5, 4.5. Had the Cubbies plus 210. Big Sunday, a lot of plus money, and a lot going on playoff-wise. A lot of injuries so far in these game ones. We got a lot coming up to go over as far as NBA. We'll touch a bit on baseball. John, got to feel good after the big Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday was huge. You guys know, if you're a follower, not many times does the line go against us. It did on Sunday, to my surprise. We took 3.5. It got to 4.5. That's when I pressed it. For our followers out there, when I say press, I'm adding to it. So we took a like bet, a 3% bet, and made it a love bet, plus 4.5. With that, the line, money line obviously goes up as the point spread line goes up. And look, if you're a follower, if you're a How to Beat the Bookie member, all you got to do is go to our ratings page. And going into yesterday, I had the Lakers road rating 1/10 of 1 point worse than the Grizzlies at home. These are two. Excuse me, Ben.
All right, it's essentially a PK on the game.
Pretty much. So give Memphis a little bit. With the Lakers have to get in the play-in games, but that play-in game was won early in the week. But this was an absolute love bet, and then we even pressed it with a plus 160 money line. This was our biggest NBA bet of the year. In all, if you bet how I bet this game, you should have won 9. What do we got here? 9.8 units to the game. 5 units on the money on the point spread, and a 3-unit bet on $1.60, bringing you back 480. So 980, almost a 1080. Yeah, here they come with Colorado. That's the one game I was looking at as a favorite. And then cash with the Cubs, which was a nice little hit at plus 210 earlier in the day. We had guys laughing at our Cincinnati Reds pick. That's going to happen. We bet dogs and 80-cent dogs. Every once in a while, there's going to be a blowout like that. We're going to win enough to cover when we're betting the plus 180s and plus 210s, and the Cubs did that for us yesterday. But admittedly, baseball has been off to a terrible start. It'll start to happen. Not worried about it. It's the long haul. Another guy, this is 3 losing days in a row. Hey, Bo. Don't follow. Get off. Get off my page. There's going to be 3 losing days in a row when you bet in baseball. Sometimes it's going to be longer. This is not a 3-day. This is not a 1-week deal. I'm not going to stop betting on Sunday. It's a lifelong thing for me. So for you guys, it's at least got to be a season. Again, if you're not, don't follow me. There's a million frauds out there that tell you they hit 80%. They'll give you all the 200 and 220 and 240 favorites you want. We bet with value, and that's what it's all about. But getting back to the Lakers, like I said, very rarely will a game go against me, but it'll happen. Other sharp guys move the line also. Not the only sharp guy, but the fucking sharpest. So we'll just put it at that. We got 2 games tonight. Actually, you guys are seeing this Tuesday. Me and Ben are shooting the podcast Monday. So we have 2 bets, 2 games, and we made 2 bets. One, a like bet on the Nets. We took Nets plus 10. Right now, that game still pretty much at 10. Jazz, one of the main casinos, is down to 9.5, but pretty much everywhere else is 10. Our love bet that we sent out literally the next morning from the Golden State Sacramento first game that we lost, that we need Wiggins to hit that 3-pointer to take the lead with 10 seconds left. But after losing that game, I was coming right back with the Warriors. We took Warriors plus 1 as of 5:57 Monday night. This game obviously still hasn't gone off. You guys will know the results when you see this tomorrow. This game is 2 or 2.5. Golden State. Now, that's a 3 or 3.5 point move. That's what you get when we talk about an edge. And that's what a love bet is, as opposed to these guys selling their nonsense whale picks. Everybody's got a whale pick every day. I don't have a whale pick every day. We don't have a love bet every day. The Laker game initially was just a like bet. When the line kept going against me, see, there's guys that follow the line. And when they see the line move, that's the team that they give out. They're clueless. They're screen chasers. That's what we call them. Once all the value's gone, they're giving you the game. So they're giving you the game at Memphis -4.5 yesterday because they see that's the side. That's the hot side. I don't go by that. I only go by one thing: my ratings, my numbers. That's what counts. Stick with me. Stick with my numbers. NBA, I'm not talking about on Instagram, on YouTube. There's nobody better in NBA than me in the world. I hope if you guys will follow me at the end of the year, what we were doing at DraftKings was literally robbing them. It's like just going in there. It's like these guys do in San Francisco and Portland, Seattle. Just go into the fucking store, take whatever I want, and walk out. Didn't even need a gun. We were taking their lines by 2 and 3 points a game. Anyway, so Lakers went against us. The line went against us, but we took over control of that game in the second half. All I can say about that game is when Hachimura and Reeves are the two leading scorers, not AD and LeBron, Lakers were in pretty good shape with that game. So a big W, a big Sunday. We hope to keep pounding away. 2 bets tonight. Nets +10. A love bet. Sacramento, we took +1. Again, guys, if you're not a member, when you're watching this tomorrow or Tuesday, this is the reason to become a member. Now, this game might lose. Maybe Sacramento comes up with a game and wins a game. Again, you guys will see tomorrow. We already did what our job is, and that's beat the bookie. We beat the number, okay? You beat the number, you beat the game. Obviously, not every game, but in the long run, that's what's going to happen, Ben.
Yeah, crush that number. Like you said, 3.5 points. As of right now, that would be the biggest move on any of these playoff games. So one of the 2 love bets so far, and one of the biggest moves. So it shows a lot to it. Like you said, your point of having an edge. You were touching there on the Lakers Grizzlies closeout there with Reeves and Hachimura having the big games. We can kind of go over some of these game ones we saw over the weekend. A lot of injuries. But we can start there. Grizzlies, Lakers. I mean, what you just said about, if Reeves and Hachimura are giving that kind of performance, Lakers are going to be in good shape. I never thought I would see a playoff game where it's a 1-point game. It was 113, 112, 2.5 to go. LeBron, forget taking a shot down the stretch. LeBron didn't touch the ball in the half court down the stretch. All Austin Reeves. If they can do that, if the role players on the Lakers can provide that, take as much pressure off of LeBron and AD in these first couple of series, that's what it's going to take for them to give a deep run. I'm not going to overreact based on one game, but the depth going to be a problem. We saw it last night with the depth with Phoenix up against the Clippers. When the bench came in for the Suns, they just didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Excuse me. I believe that was it 34-10 they outscored. The Clippers outscored the Suns bench. Look, that was the one game that shocked me. Everything else went according just how we did it. Well, obviously we got the whole world got shocked with the Miami Heat and Milwaukee Bucks, but
right.
That will attribute that to losing Giannis. We'll go over that game shortly. But Boston holding serve against the Hawks. Philadelphia 76ers having no problem in game 1 with Brooklyn, although tonight I think it'll be a little different story. I think the Nets will hang around. That's
Philly shot ridiculous from 3 in that first game. I don't think they're going to be able to shoot like that again the rest of the playoffs.
Well, look, the 76ers led the NBA in three-point percentage, but they only made 12.6 threes per game, as opposed to take Golden State, who led the NBA in actual makes, 16.6. So they're actually making 4 more a game. Golden State made 16 in game 1. We needed that 17th, that 17th Wiggins to drop that 3-pointer in. But yeah, Philly shot unbelievable, 48.8%, I believe, making 21 threes, a team record, postseason record, 21 threes. So that's my feeling exactly. Nets, this group now finally got a playoff game under their belt. They'll tighten up that 3-point line. What they tried to do there was try to limit Embiid, and they pretty much did. Embiid's going to get his, but he didn't have a monster game. But what they did give up was they gave up the perimeter, and Philly knocked them down. Let's see a little bit different. I just think they tighten it up a little bit. They stay within double digits in that game. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, you said this the Suns-Clippers game really shocked you. That was a big shock. And To some extent, I agree. I mean, that Phoenix starting five is the best starting five. We saw the problems with the depth. Westbrook, great on the defensive end, a 3 for 19 night. Kawhi Leonard, though, I mean, he was the best player on the floor. I know you and I talked earlier today about that. And also, I think Ty Lue might just be the best coach in the playoffs. I mean, we've seen the last couple of years, Clippers injuries, had some problems. They've still been competitive despite all the injuries. Now, no Paul George, game one at Phoenix, the favorite to win the NBA Finals, to win the West. And they go handle, take care of business, even with Westbrook having an off night. So very impressed with the Clippers team, very impressed with the depth. And if Westbrook has that same usage, if he's taking 19 shots a game, he's not going to shoot 3 for 19 again. If he's making, if he has a 6 for 17 night, that game's not close.
Yeah, look, I had Phoenix rated the best team in the West going into that game. KD, monster game. I think he was one board or one assist? One board, I think, short of a triple-double. But yeah, like you said, Kawhi comes back like the old Kawhi. The way I saw that series was that Clippers would just be missing Paul George too much. But hey, Phoenix went into that game with KD on the court undefeated. Since the trade, I mean, he missed some time, and he obviously sat the last 2 games of the regular season where they sat all their stars, and they lost both those games. But with KD on the court, Suns had yet to lose a game. They went into that game, and Clippers came out, punched them right in the jaw. Phoenix come back, take the lead after halftime. Clippers come right back. You thought they would be done after giving up the lead, fought right back. They showed a lot. They stole one on Phoenix's home court. That was huge. As far as getting back to the Lakers, because we talked about the Lakers, I thought there was going to be an upset. And I just felt the Lakers would steal one game in Memphis. And Memphis just has proved all year long they cannot win on the road. Denver's got similar problems. But Denver played really good at home all year. And they're the number 1 seed, so they'll have games at home. We'll talk about that game too also, and the game 1. I mean, just Minnesota just does not come to play. They didn't even show up. They were still, I guess, their head beating on OKC to be the 8th seed to make the playoffs. It was just a total no-show. I think it was Edwards and Cat combined for, I'm going to say, 13 for 11 for 33, something like that, 11 for 30. They were just absolutely horrible. A 29-point beatdown. That doesn't even tell the story. Minnesota, 80 points. 29-point beatdown, 80 points. I believe it's since 2016 that haven't scored that many. And October 29th, 2021, I believe, is the last time Denver gave up just 80 points. So a ridiculous game. Throw it out. Memphis. We'll talk about the Minnesota game in a bit, but that was a little bit of a shocker because Denver was coming off a terrible end to the season. Joker missed 5 of the last 7 games. They lost 5 of the last 7 games. The 2 games Joker played were losers. Those weren't the games that they won. One of the games he had 8 turnovers. So he was not playing well down the stretch. Denver was in that can't wait to the playoffs get here mode. Yeah. They already basically had that number 1 seed, and that's just a bad way to go into the playoffs. That's why I liked Minnesota yesterday. I'd rather have the team that's playing meaningful games down the stretch. We saw that with the Clippers Phoenix. Clippers had to continue to win right through the last game to get to be the 5 seed to stay out of the play-in, while Phoenix clinched their game with two regular seasons game. Clinched the 4 seed with 2 regular season games left, sat their stars, come out flat, and Phoenix gets them. Memphis, kind of the same thing. Memphis had pretty much the 2 seed locked in for quite a while. Lakers, again, had a win. The Lakers climbed up. It wasn't so long ago. Lakers were on the outside of the play-in game. Yeah. They're just simply the hottest team in the West. And with Milwaukee's situation with Giannis now, they've acted with Milwaukee losing. They've got the best record in the NBA, counting the playoffs and playing games, since the All-Star break.
Yeah, Lakers playing really good basketball. We touched on it with the depth they showed, and that's ideal. And there was the scare, though, with Anthony Davis. That's, of course, going to be the question if he's going to be healthy. I mean, just a lot of injuries. It looks like, Giannis will be playing game 2. Morant's kind of a toss-up, and even if he plays, won't be.
I'm leaning towards Ja's probably out. He said he was in a lot of pain today.
Yeah, like I said, if he does play, he'll be far from 100%. So prop bettors, Tyus Jones really racks up the assists when he's out. Memphis does play well without Morant, so maybe look at that. But just real tough break. I mean, of all these injuries, Tyler Hero as well. Is there any, John, that you feel might be, the most prominent, the most important to a team? It looks like Morant's might be the second most severe. Obviously, Hero, he's just out because he broke the hand. But what Morant means to the team might be more than Hero. So,
absolutely, Morant is more important. He's going to have to dust off Oladipo, and he'll shock you every once in a while with a game. But he's not going to give you what Hero was giving you. That's a bad break for Miami, who came up with a monster game. We finally get to see playoff Jimmy yesterday after that first dud in the Atlanta 7-8 play-in game. He came to play. He was a monster. Bam was a monster. But again, you have the best player in the world, Giannis, not on the court, so that had a lot to do with it. Big must game, but we'll talk about that when we get there. As far as the injuries, he's the most important. Jones, like you said, he did a great job. 2 years ago, when Ja was out for an extended time, they ran off a terrific record with him out. And I believe they had a winning record. We'll have to get that record for you. What's their record, Ben, if you could pull it up, with Ja, their home record without Ja? I believe it was excellent this year.
Yeah, I believe it was 8-1 or something of the sort. But yeah, I'll pull up the exact numbers right now.
Yep. So can they win? Absolutely can win. It'll be a must game. When two teams that are very similar, very close, very tough for that one to come away with 2 wins. So we'll see how that takes into account.
Yeah, so 9-1 without Morant at home this season. 11-10 on the year without him. Granted, I mean, Memphis is just a bad road team in general, but 9-1 at home without him is pretty efficient.
Getting the job done at home, so they can absolutely beat the Lakers at home without Ja. Again, I'm calling him doubtful for right now. From what I saw, not out. I would say he's on the doubtful side of questionable, where Giannis looks almost probable. Went for the X-rays, everything came back clean. It's just it's just a matter of pain tolerance. Being down 1-0, you're gonna have a little more tolerance. So my feeling is Giannis will be out there. But those games, are both Wednesday, so they got 2 days to recover on both. So anything is possible. We've talked about yesterday, talked about tonight. Like I said, already got the Nets. We took the Nets plus 10. And there's a game we talked about. Game 1, Philly just lit it up. James Harden knocked down 7 threes. The team knocked down 21, a postseason team record. Don't expect that again, even though Philly did lead the league, as we said, in 3-point percentage, just didn't hit that high of a volume. Expect the Nets to play with a little better basketball game. And I think they'll keep it under double digits. That's why we took the 10 in that one. The second game, just a no-brainer. Look, I like Golden State in game 1. Shocked, especially when they had a lead in the first half. Golden State, especially lately, has been phenomenal in the second half. So going into halftime with the lead, I thought that experience would take them and coast them right through. Sacramento and that fan base, they were there. They were hungry. They hadn't been in a playoff game in 17 years, and they wanted that one. Fox played phenomenal, and they came back to get the W. Again, was right there, was in our grasp. Wiggins got to knock down the 3. He played probably a few minutes more than he would have. Played about 28 minutes, his first game back. He had been out for quite a while, and he knocks down that game. Different story. He doesn't. Going to be very tough for Sac to beat Golden State twice. We've talked about this series. Golden State and Sacramento right on top of each other out in California. This isn't like a big road game. I think we got some Golden State fans getting thrown out for being a little unruly. Don't know how that went. But yeah, I think Golden State, the record I got was they haven't been down 2-0 in a series since 2007. So quite a bit. Look, was tough enough for Sacramento to pull that win off.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it. Just a lot of inexperience. No guys that have been there playing against that core of Steph, Clay, and Dre that are 4-time world champs. So now they're going to have to do it for a second time. Going to be even tougher, and that's why the line moved. Like I said, we took one game sitting at 2 or 2.5 today. Your thoughts on tonight, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, Golden State's just such a great spot. I think that I saw some reports that were coming out of, Golden State as far as the locker room after the game, after the loss to Sacramento, and they felt pretty optimistic about that game in itself. Obviously, they wanted to win, but for Andrew Wiggins' first game back, he was very competitive. And coming back first game playoffs, not an easy task. I mean, a lot more physical, definitely just a different style of NBA. So that was a positive for them. And like you said, they don't go down 2-0 very often. When was last time? 2007. They have all the experience edge in the world. And you have 32 points from Malik Monk. I doubt we see that again tonight. Hey, maybe we do, but just as far as betting and all the sharp action would suggest, we're likely to see Golden State a bit different performance. And Curry was Curry. It was an average night for him, but it wasn't a takeover night. It might be his turn to have a little takeover game here, kind of take some of the light away from De'Aaron Fox.
I had a clip saved that I was watching on Instagram. Actually, during the course of the Sacramento Golden State game. And I don't know if anybody saw it because I was waiting for the game to go final to put it up and just say Steph being Steph pregame. He was knocking down shots from the logo. So I don't know if anybody saw that, but look for that. I mean, the guy's insane. I mean, he really is. It reminds me of the old commercial Larry Bird did with Michael Jordan
the McDonald's
years
commercial
ago, and they're shooting ball off the rafters, through this, through that. And then just Steph knocked down, I think it was 5 in a row from the logo. Obviously, I couldn't post it once they lost the game because it doesn't matter anymore. But if you do happen to catch that, look for that on Instagram. The guy's unbelievable. Expect Steph and the rest of the Warriors to come with their best game and get this W tonight. This is a love bet for me. We don't have them often. This is one of the times. And again, this is what separates me from the guys that, super whale bet. So I got another clown out there. He bets 10,000 every game. It probably ain't betting $10, and he wins every game. This is a love bet. We don't have them often. It just happens to be right. We're back to back only because they pushed the Lakers. Mm-hmm. They forced me into a love bet, which I love. Not only beating the other sharp guys, but getting the line to a spot where I can make a love bet out of it. Today, this one was an easy one. Golden State should have been a 2-point favorite off Jump Street, which is the 3 points. So, we made this a love bet. Got a like bet on the Nets plus 10. You guys will know in the morning, we're 2 for 2. Make sure you become a member. We got a lot more to offer. I'm going to give you a love bet. Got to stay tuned. It's on one of Wednesday's game. If you stay with us throughout the podcast, that'll be the last thing we're giving out today.
Yep. So those are the 2 game 2s we have going on tonight. We have 6 more game 2s coming up, 3 Tuesday, 3 Wednesday. We can start to dive into some of these on tomorrow's slate or Tuesday's slate, which you guys will be seeing. So we haven't touched on these 2 Eastern Conference games that went down on Saturday. One of them was one of the winners over the weekend. The Knicks get it done outright. And that line's pretty similar to what it was last time. The closing line, at least, is similar. Looking at couple of 5.5s right now with the Knicks and the Celtics. That line's still double digits there. 10, some starting to go 10.5. You think this Celtics Hawks game, are we going to get another blowout here in game 2? Think Hawks going to come around a bit more competitive? I mean, what was that? 30-point deficit at the half, largest in Boston Celtics playoff history that they ever had on a team. There's a lot of great Celtics teams that have ran through the playoffs. So absolute dominant performance from them in game 1. And you think Atlanta shows a bit more fight here, game 2?
Yeah, this was the Celtic team that we saw early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
This was when I had the Celtics as the best team before Middleton was back from Milwaukee. Milwaukee started playing better ball, and Boston took a couple of steps backwards. That first half against Atlanta was like a perfect game. It was like pitching a perfect game. I mean, they just did everything right. Then, look, this is what basketball is, especially in the NBA. They just take their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. It's a 30-point monster lead, and you've got to play this. You still got to get 3 more wins against this team, so you don't want to bury them. they take their foot off the pedal. They give Atlanta a chance to get back in the game. They played 3 times earlier this year in the regular season, won and covered each of the 3. 2 of the games were in Atlanta. They beat them by a combined 34 points. I did not jump on this game. And like I said, these are you say, well, Atlanta should come with 1, at least on the double digits. I wouldn't be shocked if they get blown out again. Could they cover? They could. My number in this game is 9.5. So at 10 or even 10.5, just not enough of an edge. If I was going to take anything, 11.5 would have been the number I would take the Hawks at. That number will not get there. Like I said, it started at 11. The initial first number came right down to 10.5. Basically been 10.5 the whole time. So just don't see enough of an edge. Would have to be the Hawks or nobody. And again, guys, when me and Ben say this team or nobody, we're not advocating as a bet. It would be that team, or there's just no way I wouldn't bet the Celtics at -10. But would I be shocked if they won? They were up 20 again at halftime? I wouldn't. Celtics look, they finished the end of the season strong. I believe it's, is it 9 out of their last 11, including this last one? 8 straight home wins, 7-1 against the spread. They're on that kind of a tear. They're the team that went there from the East. They're the team that's supposed to go back. Maybe they got a little break with Giannis. It looks like, but Giannis will be okay. That's going to be their only competition, I feel. They're a better team than Philly. They own Philly. So if they can get by Milwaukee, Boston will go there. To me, it's a 2-team race. That's how I feel in the East. Cavs, they better get their job done tomorrow, meaning tonight, meaning Tuesday night against the Knicks. Knicks taking the 1-0 lead. If you guys are members, you know we were on Knicks right from Jump Street. I told you whether Randall was going to play or not. We took 6 on that game. Randall played good, not phenomenal. Expect him to be better in the second game back. Brunson missed the last couple of regular season games. He played good. Cleveland's going to have their hands full. Look, the number's right there. I'm a little lower, but not enough to take the Knicks. But this is a must game. So the team that's in that must-win spot, though, that number's always going to be a little inflated.
Yeah, the Celtics Hawks game. I mean, I touched on it last week when we did the last episode of just what are we going to see from this Boston defense. That was a big question mark for me just because they took a step back this season. Held Trae Young to, 5 of 18, 16 points. And as a team, Atlanta shot 5 of 29 from 3. I mean, you just can't win NBA games shooting 17% from 3. We'll see if, that Celtics defense continues to be as dominant, and Trae Young's going to have to step up. And we saw him struggle last year against Miami. And 2 years ago, he was just a completely different player in the postseason. He was unstoppable, causing problems in all the series against Philly, and then even against Milwaukee, Eastern Conference Finals, gave a bit of a fight. He's going to have to take a next step. We'll see if that happens. I lean a bit to the over in that game. I mean, that game started off very high scoring, came back to the under because of the blowout. And a lot of these games, the fourth quarters, have been coming back very, very low scoring force, leading to them to come back on the under. So if you guys want to look, maybe get some live unders. Saw that with the Nets Sixers game. I think that live total was as high as 234. Game landed 222. And then as far as the Knicks and the Cavs, like you said, with this Cleveland team, must win situation. Donovan Mitchell gave them a lot, and he was that kind of it factor that needed a star that had playoff experience, and he showed up. But the rest of the young guys, I mean, Mobley was almost a no-show. You're going to have to give more there if you're Cleveland. Defense was there. I mean, they held them to 101. That's, what was it, third least amount of points I think the Knicks scored in the playoffs, just as far as in the game ones. But you got to put up points. They're going to have to get more production outside of Mitchell. And that was the problem when he was in Utah. They couldn't get the scoring outside of Mitchell. So we'll see where the Cavs go and find that. But to me, it's Cavs or nobody, just simply with the do-or-die spot. Lean a little bit to the under in that game, but a lot of these games, we've been able to get better prices at halftime or even later in the game live for unders. So I would wait a little bit to go live on an under in that game.
Yeah, Cleveland, as you said, Mobley had a terrible game, and that's key for them. Is that Mobley and Allen, those two bigs, they've got to do damage. Mitchell Robinson plays some nice D for them. Now you got Randall. They got to contend with Randall in there. Again, I expect Randall to be back, be better in the second game back. Going to be a tough spot. Look, 6 is a lot of points, and that's why we took it immediately We took the Knicks when they first put the lines up. We wrote it in the preview, just what we expected. Taking plus 6 points in a game that's expected to be low scoring, which it was, is different than taking 6 points, let's say, in a Golden State Sacramento game that's going to be wide open, that's going to be in the 120s. A game that's going to be in the low hundreds, high 90s. 6 points just has got more meaning than 6 points in that type of wide open scoring game. So even with the spot, no way in the world do I want to lay the points with Cleveland. Yes, they need it more, and just human nature. So like human nature is, Celtics up by 30.5. They just ease back a little bit. That's that mentality. You steal one on the road that first game, just that mentality that you just might take it easy and you can get shocked that next game. But close game. I understand Ben's point with because it's a must game, but again, wouldn't want to lay any points over 5 in what I expect to be another low scoring game. Can the Cavs blow them out? Of course they can. Like I said, must game for them. Knicks already got one in the pocket. They could pull a no-show and then get blown out, but I would be careful on that one.
The last game we have going on Tuesday night, we have Clippers at Suns. Very similar dynamic, 4-5 seed. Another pretty big number there, but you have the home team down 1-0 in the series. Clippers coming off the win there. Kawhi Leonard's terrific performance. Call me crazy, John. This might be a little bit of a hot take. I wouldn't be surprised we see Clippers go up 2-0, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this series play out similarly to we saw the Clippers Mavs a few years back, where it's just road team, road team, road team, road team. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see if Clippers can steal 2 in a row. But from what I saw from them last night, I mean, if Russell Westbrook is at all any more efficient, it's going to be tough. And obviously, Kawhi Leonard played a great game. He's going to have to replicate that. KD was solid. Booker was okay. But so those guys can obviously take bigger steps here in game 2. And the spot is definitely all Phoenix. 7.5, a lot of points, like you were just mentioning there with the Knicks there in that spot.
So just getting some info as we were just talking about the Knick game, and this will make you lean towards Cleveland a little bit more. Josh Hart now doubtful. Can't overstate how much Josh Hart has meant to the Knicks. Take their end of the season run. It started with the trade of Josh Hart. He's been huge for this team. So he tweaked the ankle a little bit, and he's going to be doubtful for Tuesday night's game. So a little bit different take on that game. Makes that 5.5 more warranted, and I'm sure it'll be more like 5.5 by the time you guys are watching this, the line. Getting back to what Ben was talking about, Phoenix Clippers. Road team has won all 5 meetings so far. All 4 in the regular season. The road team won. Granted, Clippers won at Phoenix the final game of the season. Phoenix sat all their stars.
Right.
But now they just won in the playoffs. So road teams won all 5 meetings this year. Last year, home team, they held serve. Home team won all 4 meetings. These teams meet 4 times each because they're in the same division, the Pacific Division in the West. I don't see the Clippers beating them outright a second game. I think it's more likely Suns come with a monster game. Clippers got the one that they needed, then that just might be in their head. The scariest thing there, I believe Kawhi played 45 minutes. That's the most he's played in quite a while. So you want to see what you're going to get from Kawhi. So that's only 1 day off. They played Sunday off tonight, meaning Monday, and back at it tomorrow. Phoenix wins this game, or their season will end in the first round again, as it did against the Mavericks last year.
It's kind of interesting with like your point there, Kawhi Leonard and all the minutes of all the injuries we've had in this playoff first, game 1s. The 2 teams that might be the most injury prone in Clippers and Phoenix, and granted, Paul George's already out. No injuries in that game. So that line's staying about the same there as game 1. No injury effect there. I would have a hard time betting the Clippers in this spot after winning game 1. I just feel like this series could be one of those that's road dominated. So, and if Clippers, do find a way to steal game 2, I mean, game 3, I would be all over Phoenix in a do or die spot there back at LA.
Yeah. Even if they split, if Phoenix gets the win tomorrow, I see Phoenix still as a 3-point favorite ballpark. Got how the game went, who won by how many. Mm-hmm. But as a ballpark, if Phoenix wins, ballpark, they're a 3-point favorite at the Clippers. A loss would make them a bigger favorite because it's even a much more of a must game. Let's get into this final day, Ben, which is Wednesday.
Yep, Wednesday, 3 games. You're going to have this Lakers-Grizzlies matchup, Bucks and Heat, and then Minnesota at Denver. We can start here with the Lakers-Grizzlies. Obviously, John Morant waiting to see. Spectating, he's doubtful. Have to know more. Touched on it a little bit already with Tyus Jones props. I would look for him on the assists. He just facilitates a lot when John Morant is out. Had numerous 10 assist games, even had a triple-double or 2 this season when Morant was out. So his usage goes way up. We'll see if that continues. This line, John, we're looking at PK -1. Earlier today, it was Grizzlies -1. So that line kind of flipped throughout the day today. And I know you said earlier you made the line prior to game 1, PK on the series, maybe a little bit there towards Memphis. So this spot, right, it's clearly all Memphis, down 1-0 at home in a must-win game 2. And then you have Morant looking doubtful. So take maybe a couple of points away from Morant, maybe add a couple of points there for the spot. You think this line's spot on, or do you have a lean here to either side?
I'm 2.8. That's my number, 2.8. So just shy of 3 points if Morant played. If Morant played at 100%. We already know even if he plays, he's not going to be 100%.
Right.
Watch the clip, guys. When he goes down, he gets up, he's yelling, he's in pain. After the game, saying, I think he said he's a 10 out of 10 as far as the pain level. He does get 2 days. This game is going to be played Wednesday. So this game had the injury happened Sunday. This is a pre-existing injury. This is a re-injuring of the right hand. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't expect him to play. If you guys remember, he missed the games last year in the Golden State series. Can they still win? Ben gave you the stat earlier. I believe he said it was 9-1 without Ja on their home court. So they can still win. I'm 2.8 points, again, with a healthy Ja Morant in the lineup. Take him out, and we're going to flip it right to what it is right now. Lakers won.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Lakers won there. We'll see if there's any movement there. Obviously, you guys will know if there's any info on John Morant. Maybe tomorrow, once you guys see this, we'll see as that information comes out.
And just let me throw this in, Ben. So if this game was if they announce Ja out, this game was to go to like 3, I could see myself taking the Grizzlies +3. Just so you know, it's all about the number, guys. That number would say, hey, this team has been 9-1 throughout the year without Ja in the lineup at home. They're in a must-win situation. Lakers already got one. Obviously the road team wants to take every game. But when they get that one, it's just that mentality. Like I said, they already got one for the pocket. That's why we talk about do-or-die situations. So if the game is to go to 3, on the announcement that Ja's out, I could like Memphis in that spot. But right now, let's say Ja's out. The line is right. Lakers won. Right now, it's pick or 1, depending on your book.
Yeah, spot's too big to want to bet the Lakers here in this spot, even if Morant ends up being out. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, with the Lakers, there's kind of 2 perspectives to look at this as far as Anthony Davis goes, because obviously he had the issues there in game 1, and he can get hurt putting his jersey on before the game starts. So it doesn't even matter at that point. But you want him off the court as much as possible while still winning games. So that could be they want to go take advantage of Morant being out, try to close the series in 4 games and give their guys as much rest as possible before round 2. Or maybe, hey, give him a night off here like we're seeing with Josh Hart and the Knicks. Josh Hart, if Knicks lose that first game, maybe Josh Hart plays game 2, but they already steal one at Cleveland, so they're going to rest him up, make sure he's healthy to go back to the Garden for game 3. So going to be interesting to see as Morant info comes out, if any info comes out on Anthony Davis either. But with Morant right now looking doubtful, lean a bit to the under in this game. We saw a very high-scoring game there in game 1. I think it was the second most high-scoring game, got 240 on it as far as all the game 1s. And we got big performances there from Reeves and Hachimura. But also Memphis without Morant on the floor, play a bit slower, one, but two, just a lot better defensively. Part of that 9-1 record, a lot of it's on the defensive end, and wouldn't be surprised we see that. So lean a little bit through the under there. A lot of injuries. Next one, John, a lot of injuries as well. Hero breaks the hand. He's going to be out. And Giannis, this line's starting to creep up more and more, looking like he is going to be probable. So Giannis with the injury, they lose game one. This is number one team in the NBA, not even number one seed in the East, number one team in the NBA, down 1-0 at home, getting their guy back, the MVP, arguably the best guy in the league. Bucks are nobody in my eyes. I mean, big number on the game, but no way could I want any part of Miami there. Team last in scoring, losing one of their key guys who can put the ball in the bucket.
Yeah, this has all it makes to be a blowout. I'm a little aggravated at myself that I didn't catch the move early enough. Just had to worry. But look, still a chance Giannis missing. He's on the right side of questionable. Looking like he's going to play. Not guaranteed he's going to play. This is Giannis. If you read my preview, guys, before game one, we talked about Giannis and Middleton both sat out 3 of the 4 last regular season games. These guys are constantly having issues with the knees. So now throwing the back with it, we'll see what his pain tolerance is. Like I said, you're going to have a little more of a pain tolerance when you're down 1-0 as opposed to if they were up 1-0. But Milwaukee, if Giannis was to even be out, if the game was low enough, this is a spot. Milwaukee is deep enough that they can beat Miami now with Hero out without him. So that's kind of where I was thinking. If Giannis is out and this game was to go down to 5 or 4, that'd be a spot for me to lay it against Miami in a must-win situation. Miami, who looked like they were dead. I mean, this team, what a turnaround. Lose the 7-8 playing game. We're playing terrible basketball. Playoff Jimmy was nowhere to be found. All of a sudden, turn it around in the last